Hugs are more than just gestures of warmth. They carry subtle signals that can influence connection and attraction. The right touch during a hug can make her feel safe, valued, and drawn to you in a deeper way. Today, I'm going to break down the art of a meaningful hug and how small, mindful touches can instantly shift the dynamic between you. Physical contact is one of the most immediate and powerful ways humans communicate, long before words are exchanged. Among the many forms of physical interaction, a hug stands out as a unique gesture because it combines closeness, warmth, and vulnerability in a single moment. The very first impression you make through a hug can shape how someone perceives you, often more deeply than what you say or how you act verbally. When you enter someone's personal space with confidence and genuine intention, you send a silent message that resonates at a level beyond conscious thought. The power of first impressions in physical contact lies not only in the act itself, but in the subtle cues that accompany it, the way you approach, the tone of your touch, and the energy you bring into the moment. A hug is a dance of signals, both spoken and unspoken. The first touch tells a person a story about who you are. Is your hug hesitant, awkward, or rushed? Or is it steady, warm, and intentional? People are highly attuned to physical cues, even subconsciously. A simple moment of hesitation or an unnatural stiffness can communicate insecurity or discomfort, while a calm and confident embrace can instantly make someone feel safe and valued. First impressions through touch are formed in the split second your hands meet and your body aligns with theirs, setting the tone for every interaction that follows. It's not just about holding someone close, it's about how you make them feel in that instant. Confidence in physical contact is critical. Confidence doesn't mean forcefulness or overstepping boundaries. It means knowing how to carry yourself and understanding the dynamics of personal space. A confident hug begins with approach, the way you move towards someone, the openness of your body language, and the subtle adjustments you make to meet their comfort level. Approaching a hug with hesitation or awkwardness can communicate doubt, while a deliberate and respectful movement conveys assurance and presence. Even the angle at which you position yourself can affect how a hug is received. Your first impression is not just in the contact itself, but in the narrative your body tells before your hands even touch. Timing and intention also play a critical role in shaping first impressions. A hug given too quickly can feel rushed and impersonal, while one that lingers too long can become uncomfortable. The key is to match your timing to the context and the relationship you share. People can sense whether a touch is genuine or mechanical, and authenticity is what leaves a lasting impression. When your hug reflects true warmth and respect, it communicates care in a way that words often cannot. Even if it's just a brief encounter, a well-timed and meaningful hug can create a sense of connection that lingers long after the moment has passed. Subtle elements of touch amplify the impact of first impressions. A hand placed gently on the upper back, a shoulder embraced in alignment, or a soft hold of the arms can convey support, attention, and presence. These small adjustments in how you touch someone during a hug can elevate it from a casual gesture to a moment charged with emotional significance. The first impression is made not by grand gestures, but by these nuanced, thoughtful details that communicate your awareness of the other person's comfort and your respect for their space. A mindful touch has the ability to communicate interest, care, and attentiveness without a single word. It's also important to recognize that first impressions are reinforced by the energy you bring into physical contact. Energy is an invisible language conveyed through posture, movement, and even the subtle rhythm of your breath. A hug infused with positive, calm, and centered energy can instantly make someone feel at ease, creating a sense of attraction and trust. Conversely, distracted or anxious energy can disrupt the connection and undermine the impact of your touch. Being fully present in the moment allows the other person to feel your sincerity, and that authenticity is often what transforms a simple hug into a memorable and magnetic experience. Finally, the power of first impressions in physical contact extends beyond the immediate moment. A well-executed hug can linger in someone's mind, influencing their perception of you in future interactions. It is the gateway to deeper emotional connection and attraction, setting the stage for trust, intimacy, and mutual respect. The first touch is not merely an introduction, it is a statement about who you are and how you relate to others. When approached with confidence, awareness, and genuine intention, a single hug can speak volumes, leaving an imprint that words alone could never convey. Every moment of physical contact is an opportunity to communicate more than language allows, and the first impression you create can change the course of any interaction, making the difference between being memorable or forgettable, magnetic or unnoticed, connected or distant. Timing and awareness during a hug are often overlooked, yet they are some of the most critical elements in creating a connection that feels genuine and magnetic. A hug is not merely a physical gesture, it is a communication tool, a moment of shared energy that can leave a lasting impression. The way you approach, the moment you choose, and the awareness you maintain during the hug all play a role in how it is experienced. Timing is not just about the duration of the hug, but also about when and how you initiate it. Awareness is not just about observing the other person's reactions, but understanding the subtle cues that guide you in creating a comfortable and meaningful interaction. The first aspect of timing in a hug is choosing the right moment. A hug that is too early, when the emotional context is not yet established, can feel intrusive or awkward. Conversely, a hug given at the right moment, when there is an emotional resonance, can feel natural and even transformative. Timing requires sensitivity to the situation, the relationship, and the energy between you. A well-timed hug communicates attentiveness and consideration, showing the other person that you are present and attuned to their feelings. It signals not just physical interest, but emotional intelligence, which often enhances attraction more than words ever could. Duration is another essential component of timing. A hug that is too brief may come across as dismissive or casual, while one that lingers excessively can feel uncomfortable or overbearing. The ideal hug finds a balance, long enough to communicate warmth and presence, but brief enough to maintain respect for personal boundaries. Awareness during the hug helps you gauge the appropriate length. Subtle signs, such as the relaxation of her shoulders, the angle of her body, or the responsiveness of her arms, can indicate whether she is comfortable and receptive. Being mindful of these cues allows you to adjust your timing naturally, ensuring the hug feels effortless and meaningful. Awareness also involves being fully present in the moment. Many people approach a hug while distracted, thinking about what to say next or scanning the environment, which diminishes the connection. True awareness means focusing on the shared space, the rhythm of your breathing, and the signals your body and hers are giving. It requires paying attention to micro-expressions, tension, and ease, all of which indicate comfort and willingness. This presence transforms a simple hug into a shared experience that communicates care and attentiveness, making the other person feel seen and valued. Another aspect of awareness is understanding the dynamics of personal space and consent. Every person has their comfort zones, and recognizing these boundaries is key to a successful and attractive hug. Awareness allows you to approach in a way that respects her space while signaling your intent. A confident but gentle approach where you subtly mirror her posture and energy can create a sense of harmony and safety. This awareness demonstrates emotional intelligence, which is deeply attractive and often more impactful than the physical act itself. Timing and awareness also work together to enhance emotional resonance. A hug initiated at a moment of shared joy, vulnerability, or intimacy can have a profound effect, deepening the connection and leaving a lasting impression. Awareness ensures that the touch is appropriate and welcomed, while timing ensures that it is meaningful. Even small adjustments like the placement of your hands or the slight pressure of your embrace can communicate empathy, attentiveness, and interest. A hug is not just about proximity, it is about syncing your energy and presence with hers, creating a moment that feels organic and emotionally significant. Finally, cultivating timing and awareness requires practice and reflection. Observing how people respond to different approaches, paying attention to social cues, and learning to read body language are skills that improve over time. The best hugs are never mechanical. They are intuitive, shaped by awareness, and refined by experience. When you approach each hug with mindfulness and sensitivity, you communicate respect, confidence, and authenticity. These qualities create attraction not through force but through subtle influence, leaving a lasting impression that words alone could never achieve. In the end, timing and awareness during a hug are what transform a simple gesture into a meaningful exchange. They dictate how the hug is perceived, how comfortable and valued the other person feels, and how memorable the moment becomes. A hug that is well-timed and executed with awareness is more than a physical embrace. It is a silent conversation, a powerful expression of presence and connection, and a subtle catalyst for attraction that lingers long after the arms have parted. Every hug has the potential to communicate something profound, and when approached with the right timing and awareness, it can create a magnetic, lasting impression that goes beyond words. Subtle, intentional touch points during a hug can completely transform the way a person experiences physical contact, turning a simple embrace into a powerful expression of connection and attraction. While many people approach hugs casually, the truth is that the placement and quality of touch convey far more than words ever could. Touch communicates emotion, intention, and attentiveness, often at a subconscious level. By being mindful about where and how you touch someone during a hug, you can create feelings of comfort, intimacy, and even attraction, all while maintaining respect for their boundaries. The key lies in subtlety. The touches must feel natural and effortless, never forced or awkward. Intentional touch begins with awareness of the body's natural points of contact. Hands and arms are the most obvious places, but it is how and where they make contact that matters. For example, a hand resting gently on the upper back conveys support and presence, while a hug that aligns your shoulder with hers signals closeness without invading personal space. Small adjustments in the way you touch can communicate attentiveness, confidence, and care. The difference between a casual, mechanical embrace and a mindful, intentional hug often lies in these nuanced touches, which can instantly make someone feel more connected and valued. Another important element is the flow of energy through the touch. A subtle, intentional touch does not feel rigid or calculated. It has rhythm and warmth. The way your hands rest, the gentle pressure of your arms, and even the natural alignment of your body with hers all contribute to a sense of harmony. This flow signals to her subconscious mind that you are present, focused, and attuned to her comfort. It's not about overthinking or following a formula. It's about being aware of the signals your body is sending and ensuring that they communicate care and attentiveness. The intention behind the touch must always be clear, even if the gesture itself is understated. Intentional touch is also about sensitivity to her reactions. Subtle cues, such as a slight leaning in, a softening of her shoulders, or the way she positions her arms, can tell you whether your touch is comfortable and welcomed. Being attuned to these signals allows you to adjust in real time, ensuring that the hug remains inviting rather than intrusive. Awareness of these microsignals separates a meaningful embrace from one that feels impersonal or awkward. The most effective touches are those that feel responsive and considerate, enhancing attraction without creating discomfort. There are also specific areas where subtle touches have the most impact. The upper back, for example, is a space that allows for closeness without being overly intimate, signaling support and security. The shoulders can convey reassurance and warmth, especially when your embrace is brief but meaningful. Even the arms, when lightly held or aligned, can communicate attentiveness and emotional presence. What makes these touches powerful is that they are intentional. They are chosen to create connection and demonstrate care, rather than being random or habitual. A hug with intentional touch points communicates confidence and thoughtfulness, leaving a lasting impression. Subtle touches also create emotional resonance. When someone feels your attentiveness and care in the way you touch them, it fosters a sense of trust and comfort. This emotional connection is the foundation of attraction. It signals that you are present, reliable, and in tune with her feelings. Intentional touch is therefore not about manipulation or superficial gestures. It is about creating a shared experience that communicates understanding and presence. Even a brief hug, when executed with mindfulness, can leave her feeling valued and emotionally connected, which strengthens the attraction naturally. Another layer of subtle, intentional touch lies in the timing and sequence of physical contact within the hug. A touch that coincides with a laugh, a smile, or a shared moment can amplify the sense of connection, creating a rhythm that feels natural and enjoyable. Touch that is random or mistimed may feel awkward or disconnected, while touch that is deliberate yet subtle reinforces the sense that you are engaged and aware. The most memorable hugs are those where every touch feels thoughtful, purposeful, and aligned with the energy of the moment. This awareness of timing, in combination with the placement of your hands and arms, is what makes a hug not just comfortable, but magnetic. Finally, cultivating subtle, intentional touch points requires mindfulness, practice, and sensitivity. Observing how different touches feel, paying attention to feedback, and adapting in real time allow you to develop a natural and authentic touch style. Intentional touch is never about being overly forceful or mechanical. It is about combining presence, awareness, and care in every movement. When done correctly, it enhances intimacy, trust, and attraction, creating a connection that lingers long after the hug ends. A single, well-placed touch within a hug can speak volumes, silently communicating warmth, attentiveness, and presence in ways words alone cannot. Physical touch is one of the most direct ways to build an emotional connection. While words can communicate thoughts and intentions, touch communicates feeling at a level that goes beyond language. During a hug, the way you engage physically can create a deep sense of closeness, comfort, and attraction. Emotional connection through physicality is not about grand gestures or overt displays of affection. It is about subtlety, attentiveness, and presence. When approached with intention, a hug can communicate understanding, trust, and care in a way that words often cannot, making the person feel seen, valued, and emotionally aligned with you. At its core, emotional connection through physicality is about presence. Being fully in the moment when you hug someone allows them to feel your attention and energy. Distractions, whether from your phone, environment, or wandering thoughts, diminish the impact of physical contact. Presence is communicated through posture, touch, and the rhythm of the hug. When you align your energy with hers, maintaining a gentle hold and steady closeness, it signals emotional attentiveness. This creates a sense of safety and comfort, which is essential for emotional connection. People naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel emotionally secure, and a well-executed hug communicates that security instantly. Another key aspect is the intention behind your touch. Emotional connection is strengthened when your physical contact reflects genuine care rather than obligation or habit. Every adjustment, how your hands rest, how your shoulders align, the slight pressure of your embrace can express empathy, understanding, and interest. Intentionality in physical contact demonstrates that you are not just moving through a routine, you are actively engaged in creating a shared moment of closeness. When the other person senses that your hug is thoughtful and deliberate, it fosters a sense of intimacy that feels natural and inviting. The emotional power of a hug is also enhanced by responsiveness. Awareness of her reactions allows you to gauge comfort and openness, adjusting your touch accordingly. A slight shift in posture, a softening of shoulders, or a gentle leaning in are cues that indicate receptiveness. Responding to these cues shows attentiveness, signaling that you are not only physically present, but emotionally tuned in. Emotional connection through physicality is a dialogue as much as it is a gesture, and responsiveness ensures that the conversation feels mutual, creating trust and attraction simultaneously. Timing and pacing within the hug further deepen the emotional impact. A brief, rushed embrace may feel perfunctory, while a hug that is too long can feel uncomfortable or forced. Emotional connection is built in the balance, long enough to convey warmth and presence, yet attentive to boundaries and cues. A rhythm that mirrors natural breathing and movement creates a subtle sense of harmony, amplifying the feeling of emotional alignment. When a hug is synchronized in timing and energy, it can evoke a sense of belonging, comfort, and even emotional closeness that transcends words. Touch can also communicate empathy, one of the strongest forms of emotional connection. A gentle hand on the back, a slight pressure of the arms, or alignment of your body with hers signals attentiveness to her feelings. Empathetic touch communicates that you understand and acknowledge her emotions without the need for verbal explanation. This silent communication often leaves a lasting impression because it taps directly into emotional perception, creating a subtle but powerful bond. People remember how a hug made them feel, and emotional resonance through touch is often the key to creating a memorable connection. Physicality also opens a pathway for shared vulnerability, which is essential for attraction and closeness. When someone allows you into their personal space, even briefly, they are granting trust. Responding with appropriate intentional touch communicates that their trust is recognized and respected. This mutual exchange of vulnerability strengthens the emotional tie and signals that your presence is not merely physical, but deeply attentive. The ability to convey empathy, care, and authenticity through touch transforms a hug into a powerful emotional experience, fostering intimacy and attraction simultaneously. Finally, cultivating emotional connection through physicality requires mindfulness and practice. Awareness of subtle signals, understanding the impact of timing, and maintaining intentionality in touch allow physical contact to become an extension of emotional expression. The most effective hugs communicate warmth, attentiveness, and emotional alignment without needing words. They create moments that linger, imprinting a sense of connection that strengthens future interactions. Physicality, when wielded thoughtfully, is not just about closeness. It is about creating shared emotional resonance that fosters trust, comfort, and attraction. A hug that conveys emotional connection through physicality is more than a simple gesture. It is a silent conversation, a moment of presence, and a bridge to deeper intimacy, leaving an imprint of warmth and care that words alone cannot replicate. In the end, a hug is far more than a simple gesture of greeting or farewell. It is a language of its own, a silent conversation that communicates confidence, warmth, empathy, and presence. From the very first touch, the impression you make can set the tone for attraction and connection. By being mindful of timing, aware of her reactions, and intentional with your touch points, you create a moment that feels genuine and magnetic. And when your physical contact carries emotional resonance, it transforms an ordinary hug into an experience that lingers in memory, building trust and deepening intimacy. The art of the hug lies not in grand gestures, but in subtlety, authenticity, and attentiveness. It is about showing that you are present, that you care, and that you can connect beyond words. When done thoughtfully, a hug can speak volumes. It can convey respect, affection, and even attraction in a way that is natural, memorable, and deeply human. Remember, every hug is an opportunity to communicate without speaking, to connect without forcing, and to create a shared moment that resonates far beyond the arms that embrace. A truly powerful hug leaves her feeling seen, valued, and drawn closer, not just physically, but emotionally as well. And that is the essence of connection.